Oinker The Flying Pig by Ann Taylor, illustrated by Danny Knight. On a cold wintry night with a strange wind blowing, Mama Sue was about to give birth to her baby piglets. Rosie, the fat hen, announced in a loud, screeching voice, "I see the first baby coming!" Morris, the horse and leader of the farm animals, quickly stated slowly, calmly, and quietly, "Rosie, you must be quiet so you don't disturb Mama Sue." You see, Morris knew that mama pigs needed a warm, calm place to deliver their piglets. "Matter of fact, Rosie, you need to come over here with us and give Sue space," said Morris. "But I'll miss announcing all of the piglets," said Rosie. "We'll get to meet them when they all arrive," stated Clover, a very wise cow. Mama Sue delivered all night long, and when the break of sunlight came through the barn doors, Rosie went to take a peek. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 baby piglets were nursing with Mama Sue. Rosie proudly announced to the entire barn, "Sue had 8 beautiful piglets and they're all just fine." After a few days, the barn was full with excitement. It was time for Mama Sue to announce the baby piglets' names. She started choosing their names to match their personalities. Of course, there was Grunt, Mud Pie, Grace, Pusher, Speedy, Squealer, Cheer, but one of the piglets was very different. All of a sudden, the piglet completed 2 somersaults down the pile of hay, landing on his back legs with his front legs over his head, and let out a very sophisticated oink. "Okay," said Mama Sue, "your name is Oinker." Rosie cackled loudly, "You'll have your hands full with that one." Clover smiled from ear to ear, but never showed a tooth. The other farm animals laughed and greeted each of the piglets. Morris thought, "There's something special about that piglet," but he kept it to himself. All the piglets loved running and playing together on the farm. Grunt never talked much, but he enjoyed food time. Mud Pie was always found lying in the mud flat of her back, and Grace would win the blue ribbon next state fair time. She was so beautiful. You had to be careful with Pusher. He always pushed everyone out of the way to get there first. But most of the time, he and Speedy would get in trouble and Squealer would go tell Mama Sue. Oinker and Cheer became very close and lay side by side every night when it was time to go to sleep. One day, a terrible windstorm came through the farm. All the animals quickly moved inside the barn. Morris started counting the animals and realized that Oinker was missing. Cheer volunteered to go outside and find her baby brother. Cheer covered her eyes from the wind and looked around the barnyard. She spotted Oinker standing on a pile of wood that the farmer had stacked, and the wind was blowing his ears straight back and uncurling his tail. "Oinker, we must get in the barn. The bad storm is blowing in," screamed Cheer. "Cheer, just feel the wind. I think I could fly," stated Oinker. "Okay, Oinker, but not today. You'll need to practice," encouraged Cheer. "Well, I guess I could use some practice runs," Oinker stated as they both walked back into the barn. Morris met Oinker and Cheer at the barn door. What was going on out there? He demanded to know. Oinker tucked his head because he didn't want to tell the other farm animals that he wanted to fly. Cheer stepped up and said Oinker was just wanting to feel the wind. "Well, next time, let's do it on a calmer day than today," Morris said with a broad smile across his face. Clover told everybody to settle down for the night and get a good night's sleep. Oinker looked back to Morris, and he could have sworn that Morris even winked at him, but you could never tell about horses. "Okay, Oinker, if you want to fly, we have to ask questions about how to get a pig to fly," shared Cheer as they went around the barnyard the next day. "Let's start with the ones that know a little bit about flying," said Cheer. "Oh, no. If we ask Rosie the chicken, she will definitely tell Mama and I'll never get to fly," cried Oinker. "It's all in on how how you ask somebody," informed Cheer. Cheer found Rosie near the grain bin and asked her, "Oh, Rosie, I've seen you stretch those gorgeous wings, and sometimes you lift yourself off the ground. How do you do that?" Rosie stuck out her breast and said, "Just watch me, I'll show you." And she lifted her wings, moved them very quickly, and jumped straight up in the air. Rosie stayed up in the air for a short amount of time, but she was flying. "What makes you fly and piglets can't fly?" asked Oinker. "Oh, Oinker, piglets don't have wings," she laughed. "You are such a silly pig," still laughing as she strutted away. "I told you this was a silly idea," grunted Oinker to Cheer. "Don't you sound like me, old grunt, or I'll stop helping you right now," shouted Cheer. "Even if we talk to the birds, they have wings, so now what?" stated Oinker. "We'll just have to keep our eyes open," Cheer said in a very encouraging voice. Oinker began practicing first by leaning a board up against the food trough and jumping in the mud pit. His other brothers and sisters would yell at him, but Mud Pie loved all the extra mud that landed on her. Cheer encouraged him to run faster, jump higher on each practice run. Morris watched each day and lifted his head every time that Oinker jumped off the board. Clover just shook her head with all the commotion. One day, while Oinker and Cheer were practicing, they saw a piece of corn shuck floating in the air. "Look, Oinker, the corn shuck is floating in the sky!" screamed Cheer. "We need to go ask someone to tell us about how it's flying," said Cheer. By this time, Oinker had developed courage, thanks to Cheer, and said, "Let's go see the crows. They know everything about corn." So off Cheer and Oinker went to talk with the very loud crows. When they arrived, every crow was yelling at the other crow, and it was hard to get their attention. They would never hear two small piglets trying to ask a question. About that time, Morris came by and loudly cleared his voice, the way only horses can do. The crows stopped their talking. Oinker quickly spoke up. "Excuse me, but I need your help." "You know everything about corn. Is there something we need to know?" chimed in Cheer. Ernie, the largest and darkest crow, smartly answered back. "You probably want to know how to get more corn for yourself to eat." "No," Oinker said quickly. It's not about getting more food." "Can you tell us how the corn shucks stay floating in the wind?" asked Cheer. "Well, it seems that the wind gets under them and that it keeps them flying in the air," answered Ernie with a curious look. "Why would two little piglets want to know about corn shucks? They're not good to eat," asked Ernie. Maybe they want to fly, boss," said another crow. Ernie went over and pecked the crow on the head. "You are such a dingling to even think of such a crazy idea." Turning back to Oinker and Cheer. "Let me apologize for this guy. He's not too smart," said Ernie. "Well, thank you for your help. We've got to get back to Mama," shouted Cheer, as she and Oinker left to return to the hog trough. Morris met Cheer and Oinker when they came into the barn to sleep with Mama and the brothers and sisters that night. "Have you found your answers about flying?" said Morris. Oinker turned bright red and was about to pass out. He never knew that Morris had been watching and listening all the while. "With Cheer on your side and your great determination, you will fly, Oinker. I know you will," said Morris. Morris nodded his head up and down, you know, the way only horses do, in a way that says they agree with everything you say. "Now it's your turn. Help Oinker fly. It's going to take brainstorming, collaboration, communication, critical thinking, and creativity to create an apparatus for Oinker to fly. It's going to take more than one try to perfect your flying apparatus for Oinker. Oh, and by the way, you can't finish my story about Oinker. Now, meet Oinker."